right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Horror Syndicate. THS lives here tonight. You guys can't hear it, but I can hear it. I said I was going to intro this this show tonight with a lower voice because my voice gets kind of high every time we go live. But the clowns in the background are making fun of me, so let's get them up live. My name is Bryan Enright. You can follow me on Facebook, and where's my name? There it is. You can follow me on Facebook at Bryan Enright, or you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Horror Jew. Up next, wait for it, we have Jared Letourneau. Jared, God, I hope this works. Good evening. No. Oh, come on. What is this crap? Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. Why is this not working? This is exactly what happens when you use AOL. Oh, it goes to default, and then... Alright, Jared, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, and all the boils and ghouls at home. You guys can follow me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau, or if you have the Twatverse, you can follow me on Twitter at zombie_survivor. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jared. Those who are at home, we use OBS Studios for all of our live broadcasts, and OBS does this thing where every time it updates, it sets all of the audio options to default, which is the computer itself, not headphones, which I am using. And basically, I'm going to save you the stress and let you know that it's an issue that's been fixed. Thank God. Someone's snoring. Up next, we have... award-winning director himself, Mr. Mike Lombardo. Mike, good evening.
Hi, everybody. You can find me on a lot of allergy medicine right now. So if I am saying weird shit more so than usual or disappear, it's probably because my head exploded. But you can find me on realsplatter.com. That's real with 2 E's. And facebook.com/realsplatter, and in 2 weeks at the Genre Blast Film Festival in Winchester, Virginia, with I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday will be screening there. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much for that awesome, sexy news that you always keep bringing us every week. I love it. Up next, we have our president and Fuhrer, Razor. Ray, good evening.
Oh, good evening.
I didn't see you there.
How you guys doing tonight? You can follow me at the Horror Syndicate. That's it.
Boom.
Boom. That's all I care about, the Horror Syndicate.
Done.
Looks so cultured with those glasses on. It's a good look. I like it.
Yeah. It slims down my fat face.
You'll probably also be able to find shopping mall easier wearing glasses.
You know what? I told you, it's right where the heart is.
All right, and of course we have our special guest of the evening. You've seen him in Night of Something Strange. You're going to see him in Johnny Z. Please give a warm welcome to our special guest of the evening, Mr. Wayne W. Johnson. Wayne, good evening, my friend.
Hey guys, thank you for having me here. I guess I got to do a little bit of promo myself to kind of follow suit with everybody here. If I don't bore everybody to death out there and you want to find out more. My personal site is WayneWJohnson.com. Facebook, it's Wayne W. Johnson. That's my personal site. WWJ Official is the acting site. Twitter is WWJ13. YouTube is WWJ Official. If you go to WayneWJohnson.com, there's a section called Links. So whatever social network you're on, I'm probably on there somewhere. I'm still on MySpace. Not on Friendster though. I'm not there. I missed Friendster, but I'm still on MySpace. I don't do anything with it, but I'm still there. Not anymore, I should say.
Well, that's good. At least you're not like Mr. Mike Lombardo on Chatterbait.
Hey, that...
No, I don't think I'm on there. I mean, I'm on Instagram, but I'm not on Snapchat or anything like that. Not yet, anyway. I don't.
Oh, you can find me on RedTube.
RedTube?
And Grinder.
Yeah.
Oh, are those like porn sites or something?
Yeah, you can find me on Corpse Grinder.
Corpse
Oh,
Grinder.
that type of porn. Okay, all right.
So
Everyone has their own fetishes. It's okay.
So Wayne, so you're an actor. You've been in some crazy movies like Night of Something Strange. Oh, you wanted to say something, Mike?
Oh yeah.
I had a question for him about Rampage.
Oh.
Wait,
Rampage?
Oh my God, you're Dwayne, not Dwayne.
He's not Dwayne.
So sorry.
No, I have probably more hair on my head than he has on his entire body, genitals included. Or maybe not. I need more of the 3 T's if I want to do anything with him. That's like talent, a tan, and what was the other T? I can't remember, but I don't know. I definitely he's a big boy. I mean, you know. And the only thing I have over him that I know of is hair. I definitely have that over. So unless I get this wig off, if this thing comes off, you know. So.
You also have an acting career. When did you get that started?
I seriously got into acting at 2011. The only time I had done that previously was in my band Caroline Blue, where we would do music videos. So I have some so I have experience doing performance, but I didn't really have a lot of experience with acting or training with acting, in fact. And it wasn't until 2011 where my primary focus shifted from music to acting, and for various reasons. And ironically enough, one of the guys who was doing the videos at the time was Ron Bonk, producer of She Kills and House Shark, and also partly on the production team for Night of Something Strange. And that's actually how I got into the network, and I found out as soon as like Jonathan put out a casting call, I was right on top of it. So it was just lucky that I was just right there at the right place at the right time.
Okay, so what kind of band were you in?
Caroline Blue, it's kind of still around, but it's kind of based solely on me right now, because you can't have band members in there where you go like, oh, I'm going to be gone for about 3 months, or whatever, 3 weeks. You hear a response in 3-part harmony, fuck you, so it's like, that doesn't really work. I just basically right now, I use people when I need to in terms of live performing or sometimes music videos. Sometimes I can use actors. So, but back when we were an actual band and everything with the various lineups and stuff, it's melodic hard rock in a sense. It's the stuff that had been out previously. We had 2 CDs out, was compared a lot to Kiss. With touches of Typo Negative, Dokken, Megadeth, and stuff like that. So, and all that stuff's on YouTube, Caroline Blue site. The main site's down at the moment. I'm rebuilding it, and it's quite big, so trying to porting it.
So, do you do vocals?
This year, or it's from Central New York. We're in Syracuse, based.
Okay.
Number one, I do it a lot more. I get paid more. I don't have to lug equipment around. But I mean, I still have that creative thing for music and stuff. In fact, there's a song that I wrote called "My Fingers." Let's just determine what that's about. But it's going to be on a soundtrack for a movie called Romeo 3000, and hopefully before the year is out, that'll be out, and a music video to accompany it.
Okay.
I was actually also in the movie. I was one of the lead actors. I was one of the producers, one of the writers. So it's kind of a whole thing like that. But back in the day, I mean, you could see like up to about probably 2013, we were really performing quite a lot. Actually, that took up a lot of my time. But now the focus is acting.
And thank God too, because Night of Something Strange is fucking badass.
So I have to say, if I may, top 3 tampon eating scenes I've ever seen on film. Like, you really sold that for me. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, was there anything that Jonathan asked you to do that you were just like, I really would rather not?
Well, he didn't have me eat for 3 days, so it was like as soon as there was anything to eat. No. No.
I mean, uterine lining does have a lot of nutrients. I mean, I'm told.
I'll take your word for that. No,
it's got a lot of iron.
See, what's interesting about Night of Something Strange is, and a lot of people don't realize it. See, it was released in 2016, but the majority of it was filmed in 2011.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took a long time to get from when the filming was done to when it got released for various reasons. And that was my first year of acting, like serious acting. I mean, hell, the first role I ever played was in one of Ron's movies called Miss Cannibal Holocaust, and I was a gangbanger with a gang raping a woman. What a way to get introduced into acting, right? Ironically, the person who was being raped was Nicola Fiore, and she's in Night of Something Strange. She plays Pam.
Okay.
The slutty girlfriend that eventually, is almost in lingerie for like half the movie. And I smash a TV on her head. That's her
girlfriend.
Yeah, and but that scene with the tampon, back then it was just like it was just another day at the office. By then, we had been gone through so much.
If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, you heard exactly what he said, and we're not going to try to let you know what's going
thanks.
on.
I'm totally taken out of context here. Okay, so people think I go around eating tampons.
So you eat
like
a tampon
or something. Thanks. A bloodied one.
You eat a bloodied.
You know what the real gross thing about that was, though? You see in the film, and it drops on the ground. Okay.
No.
We had to. Anybody who works with Jonathan knows that you have to do multiple takes. So it'd be on the ground. I would just dust off the dirt and stuff, and go back in my mouth again, and just over and over and over again. Now, of course, it wasn't in a real. That toilet that was in that bathroom that we used was disgusting enough as is before we decorated it with other fluids. But yeah, that was the whole thing was interesting because that was the same night, day that like one of the times we went there and we did that. My appliance, the hamburger helper, that's what I call it. That was on my face. It wouldn't stay on because I sweat.
Like hamburger helper.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I kind of blows at that. But I sweat real heavily. So the latex that was being used at the time, because there was another adhesive that was used earlier on. It was like dragon skin, and it's very expensive, but it's really good. It's silicone based, but we didn't have any of that at the time, so they're using latex, and I was sweating it off. So you don't see it. There's no outtakes of it for some reason. No bloopers or anything unless Jonathan's just holding all that back. But the decision was made to use duct tape to try to hold it onto me. And so I had duct tape and coat it with blood so it would cover it. And so duct tape's not only over the appliance like right here, but it's in my hair. Mm-hmm. And it did not last. It looked like I had a goiter, so none of that stuff was used. But then the people who ran the store, it was like a gas station convenience store, they wanted us out of there right away, and I'm in the bathroom, and it usually takes me a long time to get that stuff off, so I'm ripping hair out. I'm like, it was fun times.
I'm kind of jealous, Mike, that you didn't have Santa eating a bloody tampon on Dreaming of a White Doomsday.
Hey, it's a trend-setting thing, Now there's going to be a whole bunch of movies where people are eating tampons, and we're going to have like a contest, right? So who was the most ravishing, when they're eating it?
There was a deleted scene where they are forced to eat tampons because they have but
beauty.
We cut it not for tonal reasons. It's just the lighting wasn't up to snuff.
Now, was everyone eating the same tampon, or was it multiple tampons?
It was kind of like a Charlie Chaplin moment where they're gonna eat the shoe, but it was like a tampon, and it was a whole thing. It was kind of like a Christmas Carol where there's like the Tiny Tim character and he brings in the tampon and but it's yeah. Anyway,
so
for those of you tuning in right now,
so wait, was that probably the most hands-on grotesque role that you have done in your acting career since 2011?
In certain ways, yes. But I used to go around and I would say like that was the most brutal and hardest set that I've ever worked on was NOS. That actually just got replaced in a number of degrees with Johnny Z. What I had to go through with that was pretty brutal. I actually
kill the guy.
Well,
I know.
It's in a different way, because it wasn't the Johnny Z thing. See, the Johnny Z is more of a serious movie. Jonathan, when he, a lot of people were saying go immediately and do the sequel, The Night of Something Strange. which would have been the easy thing to do and stuff. But Jonathan didn't want to be stereotyped as, you know, that guy who just makes those gross zombie movies, you know, the sex zombies and everything like that. So he wanted to make this movie, and it's a horror, martial arts, zombie type movie, but it's all very serious. I mean, there's jokes and stuff in there, but it's like a drama in a way, but action adventure and martial arts, and there's gore in it and everything, but you're not going to see like giant penises or anything like that, or tampon eating, as far as I know. Maybe that'll be a signature thing in Jonathan's movies. Somebody has to eat a tampon.
How about a house shark?
House shark was.
Are we getting a house shark in that movie?
House shark was fun, but there one thing that it didn't even make the blooper reel. It's spoilers in case anybody hasn't seen House Shark yet. My character doesn't live in the film, but there's one scene where it's like, and again, it's not on the blooper reel, it's not on the actual film or anything. I have pictures of it where I'm getting eaten by the shark, and I have a reputation, especially on films with Ron and Jonathan, of breaking things, whether it's breaking parts of myself or props or other people, and I broke the jaw of the house shark, you know, when he was chomping on it. And I know it's a weird picture, because you'll see it. It's like, you know, you got the house shark, and then you have, like, you know, here's the mouth, and I'm sticking out of it part way, and it's chomping down on me, and which would have been very funny to see, because I'm just sitting there letting it go and just doing that, and I guess according to Ron, I broke the jaw somehow. I guess I don't know, maybe too much iron from the tampons. I don't know.
You know? Not enough iron. Go ahead, Mike. You were going to say something. I didn't mean to rudely cut you off.
Oh, no. So you said Johnny Z's a little bit more serious and more mature, so there's no tampon eating. Is there any, like, maxi pad licking, or...?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But it's pretty intense, and like I was saying, I basically, I mean, I've already posted pictures of it. I've had like bruises and scrapes and cuts across both my arms, lacerations across my neck. There was literally one day that we were filming.
Uh-oh.
I
think we lost Wayne.
He was about to reveal something he wasn't supposed to.
Jonathan's watching this pretty closely.
He's gotten blacklisted.
Jonathan straightens
Wayne
us
the Rock Johnson is dead.
Wayne the Clot Johnson, because he ate a tampon.
Yeah, the clot.
Wayne, you're gone. We'll try to get Wayne back. He might still be talking, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll figure it out. So yeah, while we're trying to save Wayne, looks like we got some comments from Facebook land. If my phone lets me look at them. Yeah, this is a really fun technical show. Okay. Joe Ridgely, about time you guys have long-haired fellow on the show. I know, Joe, you have a very long set of hair. Is that the proper way to say it? Joe has long hair.
A set of hair?
He has a set of hair. He whipped it out for me on the show, and then he showed me his hair. So it was really confusing.
I bet. That would have confused the fuck out of me.
Hold on, guys. Wayne, if you're out there watching, because I see your face on the thing watching, just click the link again. It should bring you right back.
Yeah.
So, but with this type of show, if we had a bigger budget where we could fly everyone out into the same room, I'm pretty sure we would still have the same technical issues. But
oh yeah, Jared would probably freeze up even though we'd be all in the same room. You just stop one moment and we're like, oh, Jared, we're all in the same room.
I always feel like Mike Lombardo has 10 people sitting in his bedroom while he's on the show live.
How big that station is on the other side of the room.
Lex Quinn is hogtied on my bed right across off camera.
Michael!
I'm sorry, it's actually the art of erotic Japanese bondage. It's not hogtied.
Michael, I'm right here. I'm not tied up.
Can we talk about that badass present you got Lex Quinn? You got her the Resident Evil books and the keys, and Resident Evil 2 isn't even her favorite one in the series. Undeserving. Give it to me.
So originally I was going to make her a Resident Evil 4 themed gift, but I was constipated, so I couldn't.
You know, you need to stop it. love it.
You meant Resident Evil 6. That made you.
Yeah, you mean Resident Evil 6.
But no, for those who don't know what we're talking about, I made for Lex Quinn. I made her a shadow box that I got replicas of all the precinct keys from Resident Evil 2, 3D printed, and then I painted them up to be as accurate to the game as I could. I got a reproduction of the map of the police station and aged and blooded it up, and I got RPD and stars patches all together in a thing, and then I gave her the original set of novels, which have been long out of print. So it was a cool
the ones written by frontman of Journey, Steve Perry, right?
Yeah, actually, it's Stephanie Perry, I believe.
It's Stefani Perry. Come on.
Yeah, it's Stephanie. It's his daughter.
No,
she wrote a lot of the Alien novelizations too, which were excellent. Just so as you know,
Steve Perry actually just came out with a new song.
To call me again via email.
Yeah, we got some people on that. I hope. I can't.
What's
do
that?
much on mine.
I'll send a link again.
But yeah, a little bit of non-horror news. Steve Perry from Journey is releasing a new album. He has a song on Spotify. You can find it anywhere, and I forget the name of the song, but it's not good. But the fact that it's Steve Perry singing a song that he hasn't sang in 24 years apparently, so there's that. I mean, he's not eating a bloody tampon or getting booted off the show, but there's that.
Okay, I sent the invitation again.
So here's a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you can see this at all, but this is a Lex Quinn got me. I'm wearing it right now. Check out this badass Creepshow cereal shirt.
Look at that.
What was that? That's from T-Villain, I believe.
Oh, I love T-Villain.
Marshmallows. There's a cockroach and a birthday cake and a meteorite. I think it's supposed to be waves. And it's it's 5 essential nightmares it contains.
When did you turn into an Abercrombie and Fitch model when you stood up?
Oh, are you talking about my ripped 6-pack?
Oh yeah, I want to see that again. Show the world.
I've always been a model. I just I did a stint on as a GQ cover model a few times, but it's just not the life I want to live. So,
too many bloody tampons.
No, not enough bloody tampons. That was that was a rider in my contract. Whenever I do a modeling gig, I want a bucket of bloody tampons, on hand, just like Toby Hooper with his Dr. Pepper and cigar. But you know what? They couldn't supply, so I walked.
Yeah, I hear you.
Maybe it's the allergy medicine talking, but the air in here is getting very upside down.
But yeah, I mean, those who are joining us right now, we do have a guest. We're trying to save him and bring him back onto the show. He will be joining us shortly, I hope. But if not, we will continue the show and pretend that he's here talking with us. Of course, we'll still continue to ask him questions. Might get the silent treatment, spoiler alert, but we'll figure it out. What do you guys have for us on Facebook land? I see these comments coming in. Attention boys and girls, coming 2018, a new Christmas tree ornament, the bloody tampon. Thank you, Virginia Buchanan. I like to call them the Buchanan twins, but they're not twins. They're actually happily married to each other. Ron and Virginia Buchanan, who have been awesome fans of our show, THS Lives, they have a show coming up in the works. They're going to be doing live. But so far, that's all I know about that. I can't give too much detail away, but I heard that they have something awesome planned. And I can't wait to check out their show, so we'll definitely give them a plug.
Check out those Christmas tree ornaments, because I'm definitely a fan of that. It's, never mind. See, the allergy medicine is destroying what little filter I have normally. And because I'm professional, I'm not going to make the tampon fondue joke I was about to make. So don't worry.
Okay, hold on. He's having some issues. Give me a minute. I'm gonna back out from.
All right. You know what goes really great with allergy medicine, Mike? Allergy medicine. You know what's great with allergy medicine, Mike? Alcohol. You mix that shit, your liver is just like, fuck it, let's do this.
It doesn't know what to do.
It doesn't know what to do.
This is true. So in horror news,
You get like, I'm dreaming of white poops.
this Tuesday, Deep Rising is coming out on Blu-ray with Treat Williams and Femke Jensen. One of the greatest movies about a giant octopus attacking a cruise ship that is piloted by the principal from Boston Public you'll ever see.
Is that the one with Jamie Lee Curtis where she fights a robot?
No, that was Halloween 4. Yeah, Deep Rising is coming out on Blu-ray. I'm very excited. It's a very underrated movie. It's got some excellent gore effects. Very, very fun stuff.
Man, if I've seen that, it's been years.
It is so much fucking fun. And I think Kino Lorber is putting it out. The same folks that put out the Rawhead Rex Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited about that. And then just a week after that, Brain Scan is coming out on Blu-ray from Scream Factory.
I heard.
Very big fan of. I'm not a fan of the $30 price tag, but
Who is?
It's Brain Scan. I mean,
Get your shit together, Scream
Isn't the original print out of print? That makes
yeah,
sense.
the DVD's been out of print for a long time.
I mean,
Brain Scan is excellent because I saw it when I was in high school, and I freaked out because it has Primus in it, which is really awesome. I'm a big Primus fan. But it's probably the best of like the '90s like cyberspace movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some really, really great stuff and a cool like Freddy Krueger clone named the Trickster, and Frank Langella is in it as a police captain for some reason.
So are you saying that this movie is better than Ghost in the Machine? And what's the other movie that came out at the same time? Lawnmower Man 1 and 2?
Well, so it's really hard to top Lawnmower Man 2 Job's War, also known as AKA Aka Beyond Cyberspace, which was its original title when it was out theatrically, which is amazing that it actually got released theatrically. Fuck, it's amazing that movie ever got made, period. But the Lawnmower Man, it's not even a film, it's an experience. And when the Lawnmower Man is in your brain, there's no escape. And anyone who's seen the movie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Ghost in the Machine, I actually haven't seen in so long, I don't remember it. But I remember being very excited when it came out in the theater, and I wanted to see it as a kid. And I finally watched it, and it was really bad. Or at least it didn't match the movie I had in my head after seeing the trailers. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, yes, Brain Scan is better than all of those.
There was this, speaking about, like, you know, the really, like, bad virtual reality movies of, like, the 90s, there was this one that just went under the radar, and you may have seen it or not. Facebook land, if you have seen it, please give it a, you know, comment, say you saw it. It's a movie called Arcade, and it starred the kid who played Ralphie from Christmas Story. He was one of the teenagers, and it was about these kids. They go into an arcade, and they go through this virtual reality type scenario, and they go into this game, and they get hunted by a killer in the game, and the one girl, like, goes to a level where her mother commits suicide in front of her, and everything is fine, and I don't know. Have you guys ever seen the movie Arcade?
I've seen clips of it. I don't know if I ever watched the whole thing, but I know what you're talking about.
I don't think I have.
It was on HBO for a long time. So it was like, if you
yeah,
woke
that's
up,
probably one of the movies that was on TV all the time. That's probably where I saw parts of it.
It was one of those movies where, like, if you watch HBO at 5 in the morning, Arcade came on. 6 in the morning, Three Ninjas came on. It was like night and day. It was like
not at Mega Mountain or the original Three Ninjas.
Oh no, not Mega Mountain or High Noon at Mega Mountain. Was that what it's called? Yeah, no, that one. No, this was before that one came out. This was like smack dab in Three Ninjas and
before Knuckle Up.
Knuckle Up, yeah. Which is my favorite out of the sequels.
When I would dance on Saturday nights.
What's up?
That's what they used to tell me when I was on stage dancing on Saturday nights to Knuckle Up. They used to call me Moose Tracks. But no, so speaking of the kid from Christmas Story, he also was in a movie when he was still a child called Death Valley. It was a weird thriller that came out on the, I want to say late 80s, early 90s. I think actually
dance on Saturday nights.
Hey, Wayne's back.
I think we got some echo from you, Wayne.
I think I'm loose tracks.
Hey, there I am.
There you are.
Jesus.
If you have another window open playing the show, just close that one.
Yeah, the only problem is, see that link you guys sent me?
Yeah.
I have to go to, in order to copy it, I got to open up Firefox to grab it, and then I did all that and everything, and then it didn't work anyway. So it's like, I don't know. But then again, because I was going to say that thing about Johnny Z, maybe Jonathan's like watching from afar, and he's like, oh, he's going to do a spoiler here, you know.
I thought they terminated you because you were about to reveal some secrets.
Well, it wasn't really a secret. It was just more like what I was about to say was that it's Johnny Z is basically now the hardest, roughest shoot that I've been on. Not the most fucked up. that I think that's always going to be NOS until the sequel comes about. But this one was just really rough. We definitely got put to the limits. I mean, literally at one point, I remember I was lying on the ground after we had just done this take, and it required me to, after what happens, I fall on the ground. I literally at one point thought, it just popped into my head. I said, shit, I'm going to die here. You know, in this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere where I'm sweating my ass off. I'm sweating off all the makeup I have on and everything like that, like crazy. The effects artist Marcus Koch probably hates my guts because he's like, I'm sweating off everything. You know, so sorry for the people watching out there that I disappeared for a while, but I don't know what happened here. I don't use Internet Explorer, and that's probably a reason why I don't use it. I'm going to have to switch everything to Chrome.
For those of everybody that's watching out there, there's a few of them that don't know about Johnny Z. Can you briefly explain what that movie's about?
Well, Johnny Z is... I'm going to have to look this up, actually, because here, just to make sure that I'm saying everything accurate, because...
without spoilers.
I want to make sure that I give the proper...
It's about a small southern town that outlaws dancing, and the only way to bring back dancing is that they have to bring in this young, hip kid from Chicago to move down
punch
south.
Dance out his rage.
Are you talking about Chud?
Chud? Yeah.
Well, for Night of Something Strange. Where'd you get that info, man? No. Okay, it's set in the future. Basically, the zombie virus has it's out there. It's spreading like wildfire and stuff. And there's a company that has basically come up with a temporary solution. Literally, it's a fluid that can stay the virus, but it can't cure it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they find out that they're doing experiments and stuff. They find out that there is actually this one person who actually in their blood has something that can cure the virus.
Okay,
but that person actually escapes out of the facility that they're in. Meanwhile, there's pockets of people that are kind of like trying to make it and live on their own and stuff. And one of these guys is Jean Ray, who he's played by actor Felix Cortez, and he's out there and he's just trying to live life day by day and everything. And he runs into certain situations. I'm trying not to say any spoilers or anything like that, but eventually he gets caught up in this whole thing with the corporation and stuff, and eventually meets up with Patient Z, who is Johnny Z, played by Michael Merchant, who was also in a couple of guys from Night of Something Strange that are in this, like Trey Harrison is also in this. Brett Janeski is in this as well. So some familiar faces. Obviously different roles. None of us are doing any kind of gory penis action or anything like that. You know, I just want to stress that there's nothing like that in this. So anybody who like is a big fan of Night of Something Strange and they want to come in and see the exact kind of humor and that kind of stuff, it's not here. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be boring or anything. I mean, there's plenty of gore in here. A lot of sword play. So you'll see like chopped limbs and stuff. A lot of, you know, and there's guns in this one, and you're going to see some really great effects. I mean, Marcus Koch is the effects guy, and he's the one who did, you know, so many different movies with some awesome special effects. So
he's a good guy. He's not really a nice guy.
Yeah, it's something that was kind of funny. A lot of times we were, I'd carpool with him to the locations and stuff like that, and I didn't realize this. I'd get out of the car and I'd shut the door, and he goes, "Stop slamming the door!" And I'm like, I didn't know I was slamming the door. And it happened so many times. I'm like, I really don't realize that I'm slamming your door or your trunk. And even Jonathan was like, "God damn it, man!" One time he's like,
so you actually caught Marcus on a good week if his car was running.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's got I think he's got a newer car now.
Okay.
What was it? It was an SUV. Yeah, that thing, I never had any problems. The AC in that was a godsend. I mean, it was actually the third block that I was in. This actually it's funny because the second block is where that part where I was lying on there thinking, what the hell, I'm about to die and all that stuff. But and that was extremely brutal. But the third block actually, we were in an abandoned prison in Virginia, and that was at the tail end of that heat wave that hit really hard during beginning of July, and I started like coughing a lot at that time. So there was a couple other people who were coughing too, and I still haven't gotten rid of that cough, but I just got really sick. And I was kind of lazy initially, like because I'm on the chair and I'm just like sleeping all day long, when I wasn't being used, and it was just like, no, I was that weak. I just, and like I said, I sweat heavily normally. And then the rest of the week, in the end, I actually started, when I was leaving, I actually had some problems breathing, so it was like, okay. I don't know what happens here. I guess I'll have to wait till I get some health insurance. What was that? I'm sorry?
Were you doing your own stunts for Johnny Z, or did you guys have a stunt crew?
There was a stunt crew there, but I was doing my own stunts because, number one, it's kind of hard to find a guy my size. I'm bigger than I was, and it's kind of weird. I mean, like I said, I got sick, but just between the time I filmed and right now, I lost 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully Jonathan's not going to call me back for any reshoots, because it's like, I don't know if I can fit into it'll be a little baggy on me,
Well, start eating tampons now, man. Bulk up.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for your iron, but it doesn't do. If I want to lose more weight, I can be doing that. I guess that's my claim to fame. I guess that and the whitewashing the cop scene.
I would go with the scene at the very beginning. You're doing your job.
There was another horror podcast that did an interview a while back, and they gave a nickname for that move. They called it the Donald Trump. Grab him by the pussy. And
destroy the account.
That's another gross one, because that scene, actually, all I was supposed to do was just rip it out. That was on my own, putting it in my mouth, but I'd spit it out. It'd be on the ground. I don't know. It just felt natural. I don't know. I guess that kind of tells you what type of guy I am.
You have to respect giving love.
But then I had to keep putting that back in my mouth, and doing that and stuff like that. And
what was the material that you were putting in your mouth?
Vagina.
Only the few and not so proud now. No, it was just a piece of like this. I think. I mean, from what I remember, it had absolutely no flavor to it. Not that I was trying to get any. I mean, it wasn't like I was. I'm not sitting there going, "This is a gourmet meal," or anything like that. But back then, again, it's like I said, it was when I was starting to be serious about acting, and at that point, your first year, especially, you're kind of willing to do anything to make it. And like I said, that was me that came up with just popping it in my mouth and doing that, and it was like, all right, well, you committed to this, so you do it, and you do it.
How much was shot in 2011?
The majority of the film was shot actually in 2011, because most of it, at least for me, was at that hotel. We actually, the first 3 weeks of filming, we actually all lived at the hotel.
Oh, wow.
We were filming there every day. Normally what would happen is we would get a call at 6 p.m. Just to get ready and get everything set up and talk about what's happening and stuff, and kind of you know, kind of get comfortable with the situation, because, you know, it's some pretty gross stuff. And sometimes, I mean, especially in the beginning, it was kind of strange. It was kind of like a media event because we were in a small town. So picture it, if you will, we're filming, and there were times where there were people, locals, who would, like, they got like those lawn chairs, you know, and they would be set off out of camera sight, and they'd be sitting there watching and stuff. They didn't see any of the real gory stuff or anything, but they'd be like, it'd be like an event, you know. But and then usually people went into makeup starting like at 10 or 11, and then we would start filming. We'd actually start filming even a little earlier than that, and then it would go on to like 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and then you just, you know, you start the day over again. You're just constantly filming as much as you can while we're doing that. The first night that I was filming, actually, we learned an interesting thing, because the contacts that I wore, the fluid I was actually allergic to. So, of course, you have to put the contacts on first before you put on all the appliances and the makeup and stuff. But by the time that all got on, I was in a lot of pain because of those contacts, but I couldn't do anything. So, and I was done by 11 p.m., but they didn't need me until 5 in the morning.
What? So you had to sit there the whole time?
Yeah, so I had to sit in the makeup guy's trailer. At least it was air conditioned. But then, you know, he'd come in and start smoking, of course, so that went into my face and shit. So
oh man,
that didn't help. But
I hate that.
So I basically, but you know, to give credit where credit is due, the guy actually said the next day, you know, Jonathan goes, no, we're not going to have him wait that long anymore. And after I got my own solution and stuff, so it wasn't the last time I had eye pain, but it was like, at least it didn't take me long to get in the character. You know, I was already ready to rip somebody's head off by the time they needed me on set. So, and that's kind of how I am with Cornelius. You know, when you get into Cornelius mode, I don't exist. Wayne W. Johnson, I don't exist. You know, once I'm in Cornelius mode, I'm just ready to take somebody's head off.
So you're very method about that.
Yeah, I kind of subscribe to that, but you know, I used to always say that I was into it, although I'm no expert by any means into method acting. However, I guess I kind of flirt with it a little bit, because number one, I don't have any serious training in it, and number two, I'm not one of those guys that, you know, you have to be on all the time, because it gets annoying. You know, somebody who, like, as soon as they get on set, like the first day, they're in character, and then they stay in that character for the whole shoot. I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me, because number one, it is annoying, especially depending on your character. I mean, I did that for one day on a set where I had to play like a stoner, like a classic stoner. So I just stayed in role. So I'm talking like this, man, the entire time. It's so cool, you know. But everyone got really tired of it by the end of the day, so I stopped doing it. I think it's actually a little more impressive to be able to turn it on and off. Because, you know, it's, you know, I see the point of having to be, and things might change in my thinking, but this is how I feel about it now. I mean, it's great to be in that character all the time and stuff, because then that's like the real you now. But to me, it's more impressive to be like able to switch it on and off. You know, especially if it's an extreme role. If you can do that, because, you know, there's a video I can post it on your wall. What's that guy? The guy who played Gandalf, Sir Ian. It's a great video, because he's talking about his secret for acting. And at one point, he's just saying, this is how I do it, okay? And he's showing like a little graph, and he goes, now this is what I do, you know, because I told the director that, you know, he wanted me to play a wizard, and I told him, I'm going to let you know that I'm not a wizard. And he goes, well, I want you to, Sir Ian, I want you to use your acting skills to portray a wizard. So, and he goes, well, let me simplify this and go like this. This is me. I don't know if you can see this because everything's sputtering here, but he's going, this is me. It's like Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian. Action! You shall not pass! He's got off, and then Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian. You know, so it's, to me, that's actually, I mean, it's a joke, but it's actually, I find that more impressive, that if you can just turn it on and off. It's kind of hard to do that with Cornelius, though, because when you're raging, it is hard to turn, because I'm really angry, and I've got hate and going on, and so that's why I was injured on the set. I actually injured other actors on the set. I broke a lot of property on the set. I didn't mean to, but it happens. I mean, one time it's like when we were filming with Johnny Z and I had to kick a door in and Jonathan goes like, no, look, I don't want you to kick the door and break it off the hinges, okay? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Just from the experience from Night of Something Strange and everything like that, where I was like going full force and more. It's like, so I hope that wasn't a spoiler. I kicked open a door in Johnny Z.
So what would you say some of your inspirations are being an actor? You got to grow up and be like, when you're a kid, you're watching TV and you're growing up and you're like, I want to be like that person. Like, who were some of your inspirations?
Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, that's a perfect combo.
Yeah. Those were the guys that I saw. I mean, I saw like Bruce Lee stuff and I was like, damn, the intensity he had and the control, which obviously I don't have any control in Night of Something Strange, but it's like, I was like, wow, it was just so intense. And seeing what Arnold was doing in his prime and stuff. But more impressive to me, even to this day, I mean, obviously some of their acting, it's like you're kind of bound by the script and the story and the director. So sometimes actors get a bad rap because, sometimes, they'll be like, oh, this guy, he sucked on this and like that. But, sometimes you're with a director, unless the actor is like part of the writing team and part of the production team and all that. Sometimes you just have to do by the director's vision, and, and somebody approved of that performance, and maybe the actor didn't want it like that. Maybe he wanted to do more and maybe wasn't able to have that kind of pull in order to do another take or do something, change it or something like that. So, and I've had that happen too, where, it's called, I can't remember. There's an actual term for it when you go into film school with directors, and it's feeding the actor. That's what it's called, where you literally tell the actor exactly how to do everything. And, and the actor basically, if they don't have any pull, they got to do that.
Yeah, do what you're told kind of mentality.
You do what you're told. I mean, even down to, I had to do ADR, which is audio sync replacement, basically. All the big movies do that. That happens on indie films too, where you eat your lips and stuff, and you just basically you redo your lines because for whatever reason you can't hear them, during post. So I remember one time the guy was like, "Well, do you remember this is how you were breathing?" And I'm like, okay. And he goes, and I did it a few times. He goes, no, it was like this. So it took a few tries, but I got it. I'm one of those locally around here in CNY. There's a lot of actors I know, they hate doing ADR. I love it. I love doing it because it's going to help make the film better. And I totally deviated off from the original questions. Oh, Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff. What I was saying, I know it's way off there.
Like that you could be Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger's love child, who started a heavy metal band. Yeah,
that is scary.
That's scary, but it's kind of a compliment at the same time.
Yeah,
but that's an extremely scary visual.
So, all right. So you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, and you have Bruce Lee. I have a question for you because we're gonna do something like this later on tonight. It's called the Razor's Burn, where we ask each other questions. Of course, you being our guest, you have to answer, and then those on Facebook land can answer the questions as well. But all right, so I want to put together the best movies that these two actors made, and you have to choose which one is better. All right?
Okay.
You have Enter the Dragon versus
Jingle All the Way.
Let's see, that's kind of a tough choice there, guys.
It's the cookie.
Put that cookie, put that cookie. Okay.
It kind of froze here, so if you did say what the Arnold movie is, I didn't hear it.
No, it was just interrupted. Poor Taste by Mike Lombardo.
Awesomely.
You're really hitting me, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, so you Enter the Dragon versus Terminator 2. I think that, a lot of people can argue that Terminator 2 is Arnold Schwarzenegger's best movie. So which one would you choose?
Some people would argue that Enter the Dragon is Bruce Lee's best movie, although I don't. It's weird because the first movie I saw of his, it was one of what's considered one of his worst. because he wasn't actually there when he filmed it. It was Game of Death. I actually saw that. Yeah, that was the first Bruce Lee movie I saw, and then I caught up with everything else. And my favorite out of all of them is actually Way of the Dragon, which is called Return of the Dragon.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. Yeah. Between those two, I would probably go with. I'd probably go with Arnie on that one, Terminator 2. Just because, I don't know, I'm saying that now, but if I think about it later, I might switch that, but that's just my initial feeling right now. It's kind of hard, though. I mean, you know, was that late 80s, early 90s film?
Yeah, it was 1991, I think?
92.
Yeah.
92?
There have been so many things that advanced with filmmaking and stuff, and of course it had all those great effects and everything, and the storyline was pretty good, and the Terminator line hadn't deteriorated by that point. You know, it was like afterwards when all of a sudden it kind of went all over the place, but it was still, because I love the original Terminator.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great story and stuff like that, and it just built on with Terminator 2, and then it kind of fell apart after that, unfortunately, in my opinion. Of course, it's all subjective and stuff like that. That is tough. That's a good one. I would say right now Terminator, but if I thought about it, I might switch to Enter the Dragon, because it was just, I mean, Enter the Dragon was more of a simplistic story in a sense, but there was more heart to it, in my opinion. I mean, it was just more into your face, especially towards the end. I mean, it just, you know, it's not something that required a lot of heavy thinking. You know, you got it right there. It was basically like a James Bond ripoff. You know, big tournament on an island, you know, somewhere. They got to send a secret agent in there. And
yeah, it's kind of like what they did, but with a watered down version that was called Mortal Kombat, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah,
they pretty much stole that whole idea, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think I would still go. Well, I think story wise, I would definitely go with Terminator. Just there's it's coming off Terminator, and it's still going with that, and that's a great storyline.
Yeah,
you know, compared to Enter the Dragon. Enter the Dragon's is pretty simplistic. Although the fighting, you know, well, that's a little different.
Yeah.
You know,
I figured I'd bring it up because, you know, being a horror show, we really don't talk a lot about action movies, and, you know, hearing that you expressed that your idols were action stars or are action stars, Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're known for their action movies. Like, Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't really like known for like his family movies where he's chasing Sinbad through a parade. Although it has happened.
Actually, right. One of my favorites actually from Arnold is actually Predator.
Okay.
You know, that's one of my favorites with him, and I should bring this up because this might be interesting to some people. Not until recently, I mean, in terms of when I started acting, probably about a couple years into it, I wasn't really a fan of horror movies.
Oh wow!
For whatever reason, it never really got into it. But then I started being in them, and I definitely appreciated more of what went into them, and I started researching more and started watching more and everything. And I definitely appreciate it. Now, even though I'm still way behind on so many different films all around because I have Netflix, but I'm just starting to catch up on. You know, shit. I mean, I'm so behind on stuff. It's amazing. You could talk about a movie like Jonathan and Ron. You know, they'll be talking about movies all the time, and half the time I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like in the Johnny Z promos, one of the films that's compared to that is The Raid, and I've never seen The Raid.
A great fucking movie.
Wow.
I hear that. You know, but I haven't had a chance to pick it up yet.
If you're a big Bruce Lee fan, you would love The Raid.
I've heard the fighting is really intense in there,
it really
and
is.
From what I've seen so far of just with the stuff that I've been involved with and the stuff that other shots in the movie, it's going to be pretty impressive. They actually, Felix, he's like a martial art master, and one of his nicknames is Iron Felix, and I found that out because, you know, those bruises came from me hitting his forearms and everything like that, and he's all fine, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know?
You said Iron Felix was his name? Are you sure it wasn't from...
Well, that's his nickname. They call him Iron Felix.
Sure it wasn't from, like, Bloody Tampons? Because that also has
no.
iron in it.
I
that
don't
seems
think,
to be the theme of the night.
No, although you never know with Jonathan. I mean, he'll come up with some stuff, but this movie is a serious movie, so you're not going to see, unless there's some thing that I don't know about. I'm pretty sure it's pretty serious. I mean, it's a serious zombie movie. You know, I think that's the best way to put it. It's got great combination of horror, zombies, martial arts, great story behind it. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm in it. Obviously, I read the script. It's really good, and I can say right now, everything from production values to cast to equipment used, everything is on a higher level than Night of Something Strange. So, I mean, it's really looking sharp. He's using a Red Dragon camera, whereas Night of Something Strange was shot on Mark III DSL Canon's cameras, and with some occasional. I think there was a few Marks. What was it? I'm not going to say it because I'm still learning about the technical stuff. But anyway, I'm sorry. I way deviated off the path here. So
No, you're good. I mean,
well, thank you.
Yeah. But, you know, hearing
I
about
paid him to say that.
Hearing about all these, like, you know, the experiences about how you were never really into horror kind of reminds me of myself, because I didn't start getting into horror until I was an adult. I mean, I've watched horror movies and I had, you know, I respected them growing up, but it wasn't until I started living on my own where horror movies were, like, you know, something that I wanted to aim more towards.
Well, you guys might be able to answer a question for me, because see, my earliest recollections of horror movies, there were 3 movies, and one of them I don't know the name of. The first one was Trilogy of Terror, specifically the one with the little voodoo doll.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was a little kid. I'm watching that, and that freaked me out. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Based on a short story by Richard Matheson called Prey.
Yeah, it was like, wow, that little guy freaked me out. I mean, you watch it today, and it's like, yeah, right. But I mean, it's like, you know, but for its time and everything like that, that was a freaky little thing. And the second one was the first Halloween movie. Being a kid and stuff like that, I didn't want to shut the door to my bedroom. You know, it was like fuck. That freaked me out. And then there's a third movie, and I cannot remember what the name of it was. And there's 2 parts that I remember about. The first part is the beginning of the movie, where it's like somebody's in an attic, and there's a whole bunch of there's a dresser, and there's a whole bunch of pictures on there of people, like a family. Okay, and there's like an older woman in a rocking chair. Okay, up there, and she's always up there. And this family comes in. It's husband, wife, some kids, and stuff like that. And some weird things start happening and everything. And at some point, one of the daughters, they're trying to get out, and the daughter goes into the station wagon, and the husband goes up to the attic because he can't find his wife anywhere. And he gets up there, and there's the grandma, you know, in the rocking chair, and she turns it around, and it's his. I don't know if that's it or not. If it is, that'll be great, because then I'll finally find out what the name of it is. But what happens is he turns her around, and it's his wife. And then I can't remember how it happened, but he gets thrown out the window.
That is Burnt Offerings, I'm pretty
I think that's Burnt Offerings.
Yeah,
I never saw Burnt Offerings.
Okay, I'll write that down. I've got to definitely check
Is there
that
like a freaky chauffeur guy with whited out eyes?
I don't remember that part. But that's the only 2 parts I remember, is because the guy lands, like his face lands right into the windshield from the top, and then she freaks out. And yeah.
Coincidentally, Karen Black is in that film, and she's also in Trilogy of Terror.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Trilogy of Terror is coming out on Blu-ray soon. I like the second one better, though. I love that.
Okay.
Nobody talks.
Burnt Offerings is a very underrated film. It's a good one.
See, the Trilogy of Terror, like, that final segment reminds me to never order anything off of Wish.
That's what you get when you do that email with the Nigerians. They send you one of those dolls.
All I wanted was a PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2?
I don't know. Is that what all the kids are playing nowadays? PlayStation 2 with their Game Shark?
You're getting old, Brian.
I am getting old.
PlayStation. Yeah. PlayStation 4 anymore. They just all ditched those and they went for 2.
So are you a gamer, Wayne? Do you play?
I used to be.
Okay.
I used to be. I was one of those guys that it just consumed me. You know, I'd be sitting there and one more game, one more time. This is back when, you know, you didn't have the cheats and you had to find the damn save point.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't find that save point, you know, then if you stopped, you got killed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was heavily into. I probably PlayStation 1 was the big one. PlayStation 2. I have a PlayStation 3, but that's kind of when it went downhill, and I would love to get back into it again, but I'll get hooked on it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I love I want to play the Friday the 13th game on PlayStation 4.
You got about 2 weeks before it doesn't exist anymore, I'm sure.
Oh, I'll just buy one then. I actually have a PlayStation 4 game that I bought. I don't even have the system, because I know I'm going to play it at some point. So it's like, so I guess you could still call me a gamer to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, once a gamer, always a gamer.
Yeah.
You know, I played a lot of, you know, Resident Evil was like the game that I grew up playing, and you know, the cheesy acting, and you know, Resident Evil 2 was arguably the best one of the entire series. Outbeating number 4, puts 4 in the back burner. I think number 6 is way better than 4.
I knew that you would. That's a hot take.
Well, you know they're remaking 2, right?
Yeah, they actually just announced that there's going to be a more gorier version of the game.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I've seen clips of it. I've shared a few on my Facebook page. It looks really good. I just hope the story is the same. And you know, like, I mean, I know the only thing that I know that is definitely going to be more interesting in terms of playing that. You know, in the original Resident Evil 2, you know, you're out on the streets. You could just kind of dodge the zombies a little bit. They were too slow to kind of react to you, and you can just kind of zigzag. You can't do that in this new one. As soon as they kind of see you there, they're going for you. And so
yeah, and they brought back like the over the shoulder aim from Resident Evil 4, but
which I prefer.
Which Ray prefers. But you know, it's interesting to see that it's coming back, and all of a sudden, like, all the old school horror fans, such as, you know, yourself, are becoming united again and wanting to play this. They actually just announced that for $900 you can get a typewriter with the game for $900. I don't know if it's worth it.
Typewriter.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's a fully functioning typewriter.
It would actually be pretty cool if no matter what key you hit, it would just type out the same, like some kind of really weird, gory kind of thing.
Yeah, like Leon O1 scenario S.
Yeah.
Or not scenario
but,
S. S ranking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite games. That and the Final Fantasy games. I was really hooked on those series. Both of those for a while, and there's other ones. I mean, I love Street Fighter and all that stuff, and a lot of them. I actually had the stupid idea when PlayStation 1 came out that I'm going to get every single one of their games. That didn't work.
You can do it now. They're probably super cheap, except Power Rapper the Rapper. That's like...
I have that.
Oh, you do? Okay, never mind.
I love that game. I've only beaten it once. Every other time I can get to level 5, and then for some reason I can't get past the level 6. But on a trip to Florida, somehow I had it on those stupid those save little cartridges on the PlayStation 1 that you had. I put it in there, and I finally was able to beat it, and I haven't been able to do that since.
Oh, wow.
And if I had to play it now, I probably couldn't get past the cow, you know, the driving part, which is level 2.
Yeah, I always remember that the Kung Fu. I think it's like the tutorial song. Kick
like,
punch all your mind.
Punch. Yeah, yeah. Level 1. Yeah.
I could never get past that because I would just fuck around, try to make my own try to make it sound like a Beastie Boys song. But yeah, I mean.
Sorry, I'm gonna hop in real quick. I gotta go, folks. My head is gonna crack open from sinus pressure. I hate to do that, but I will talk to you all later. Thank you for all guys listening to me ramble on allergy medicine. And thank you, Wayne. It was a good time. I love Night of Something Strange, and I'm very much looking forward to Johnny Z.
All right, man. Great talking to you, man.
Yep, I'll talk to you.
I have sinus problems too, so hey, I feel for you, man.
Constantly. It's fucking hell. But all right, I'll see you guys. Buddy.
Take some Sudafed.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night.
All right, now that the weak link is gone, no, I'm kidding.
Oops.
No, Mike's an awesome dude.
Awkward.
He's had a lot of success with his movie that originally was a short movie, and now it's a feature length. So it's been doing really great in film festivals. It's called "I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday." So, we're very proud.
What was it? Dreaming of a what?
I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday.
Okay,
So,
I thought you said dreaming of a white dude's day.
Yeah, he's dreaming of a white dude's day. Yeah,
That is something strange.
that is something dude day. No, he but his movie's been getting a lot of reception, like good reception in film festivals, and
It's awesome.
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance to check out the trailer, go check out the trailer. Or if you ever go to a film festival where they're playing it, I highly recommend go seeing it.
Yeah, awesome.
No Santa's eating bloody tampons, so I mean, I know we talked about that earlier.
Maybe in the sequel.
Maybe in the sequel.
Maybe in the sequel.
I don't know if enough people are interested in that scene. I'm sure it'll come back somehow.
Well, maybe Michael I. Wayne for the job for Santa in the sequel just for that. He's got the experience.
Oh, I could do it. I've had that experience myself.
That would be fun.
So
yeah, what a great thing. What do you have tampon eating experience? Bloody tampon eating experience?
Of course I do.
Oh, well, we will consider you. We'll give you a call. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I'm gonna let Ray take over. Ray has a bunch of questions that Oh
my god, I don't have any questions.
Alright, so we have this thing called the Razor's Burn. Those who are watching right now, you know the game, especially if you watch our episode every week. Wayne, it's called the Razor's Burn, but basically it's a bunch of genre questions. Fan questions, sort of like fantasy questions, or what is your main interest? All those types of questions. And,
one was, what indie horror movie would you like to see become a franchise? I that's when I messaged you about. Jared and I said something about Night of Something Strange being one of the next franchises. So,
well, I can tell you right now that there is going to be a Night of Something Strange 2.
Oh, okay.
Although it's because.
And Jonathan kicked him off again.
Jonathan kicked him again.
Well, no, I'm still here. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, okay. I was like saying no, but although it's probably not going to be called Night of Something Strange like that. I think he's following the Living Dead series, so I think it's tentatively right now called Dawn of Something Strange.
Oh, good.
I think something like that.
That'd be cool.
I can't reveal who comes back, and I already know a little bit about the beginning. But yeah, he basically it's kind of a no-brainer that the sequel is coming back. Now, whether there's something after that, we'll see what happens, how well it does. But to me, honestly, I think Jonathan's got, he's got a top nos. There's,
that's not easily done.
No, so
yeah, anytime a sequel, that's the idea. That's always hard, I'm sure.
I watched it again the other night, and there's a lot of stuff that I either forgot or must have missed from the first couple times I'd watched it. Man, that movie gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. One of the things I noticed this time were like where there was a close-up shot of one of the actors either in a car or in a hotel room, and then all of a sudden, like there was one where I think it was Trey was in the car trying to start it or something like that, and like. You're staring at him, but all of a sudden you come fucking storming in, running at the door.
Yeah,
and that happened with I don't remember the guy's name. The guy that had his I don't want to spoil it. The really skinny guy,
Michael.
Yeah,
he was the bully.
Yeah. So just a couple times that nothing seems to be really happening for a second. All of a sudden, one of you guys comes like running as fast as you can, top speed, and like, you know, hitting the door or whatever. I noticed that, and I was like, God damn, that's fun. And then,
well, it was fun, but that was actually I broke things on that one.
I'm sure you did.
not just the windshield. The windshield was, I mean, that was a brand new at the time, 2011 Mustang. Okay. Now, obviously, I didn't shatter the actual windshield. I would have shattered my hand faster than that, or the side window. But so that was like sugar glass. But when they had me do that, the first couple of times I ran into the car, I found out real quick that I can't stop on a dime. So I'd slam into the car, you know. And one time I tried to leap over the car. I mean, it was like, that's how bad it was. And one of the times my knee actually hit the side mirror there, and it just broke off, and it was dangling there, and everyone's looking at me. Oh, great job, Wayne. You know, it's a rental, and they fixed it before it got in there. But
that's good.
Yeah, that was one of those breaking moments.
Yeah, that was one.
I've got a question for Razor's Burn. You said you're kind of like new in the horror, into liking horror, like respecting it and whatnot. What would you say in the last 5 years, excluding your own film, obviously, is your favorite original horror film? Just going back the last few years. It doesn't even have to be 5.
Well, I can't talk about any of mine, right? So that's going to be really hard. No, I'm just joking. Actually, I would probably say, just going off the top of my head right here, Train to Busan.
Ooh. That is a really good fucking movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. It came out in 2016, so it was the same time as Nos, and so I saw that, and I got the Blu-ray, so you got the South Korean language, but then you have the English dub.
Right.
And
I do too.
Yeah, and I saw that, and it was like, wow. And I heard there's a sequel for that announced too.
Oh, cool.
Just recently. So it was just like, that was incredible.
For those of you guys still watching at home, Train to Busan is a great zombie flick from South Korea. Great flick. It's not just a zombie movie. It has like a family story, and it's actually like,
it's like a tearjerker at the end too.
Yeah, it's tear-jerking. You actually feel for the characters in the movie when most times you don't in those type of movies. Great film. That's a
it's definitely you know, it's weird because a lot of the zombie movies that are coming out, it's kind of like the vampires. It's almost like humans. You know, I guess everyone's trying to be a little bit different, and it turns, so that's how it kind of burns out. But you get a movie like Train to Busan, and I mean, some of the viciousness that's going on in there. I mean, the contortions. I mean, it was like, wow. That one Japanese woman, when it first started, and she's like, I was like, oh, how the hell is she doing that? You know, when they're, you know, like World War Z, where they're climbing up the wall in Israel, and they're going so fast and stuff like that, and then when you see that inside a train, and it's coming in, oh wow, that was intense.
And I'm pretty sure it's streaming on Netflix too.
It is on Netflix. I have yet to watch it. I guess I need to.
Yep.
Oh, it's great. I mean, well, you know, it's all subjective and stuff, but I definitely would agree that that's awesome. Awesome.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
So, Bryan, my question for Wayne was, what's your favorite most recent original horror film? And that was his answer.
With Train to Busan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Train to Busan.
I guess it's my turn.
Go for it.
I have to say that the most original horror movie that I have seen, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Mr. Mike Lombardo here. I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday.
I still think you say White Dude's Day.
White Dude's Day. Even though Dude Bro Massacre Party 3 was a really good movie as well, and that's got a bunch of dudes in it. But I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. Right there. Signed by Mr. Lombardo and his mother.
He's going to block me after saying that. He's going, God damn it, Wayne.
Well, the sequel's going to be called I'm Dreaming of a White Dude's Day. And it's just going to be a bunch of dudes eating tampons dressed as Santa. I have to say that that's probably original horror, and I'm shamelessly promoting him right now because it's just a fun movie to watch. And by fun, I mean very depressing, but good.
I was going to say, it's not that fun.
There you go.
It's depressing in a fun way.
Spoiler alert, it's during Hanukkah.
Uh-oh.
What do you think, Ray? Same question.
You know what I'm going to go with. If we did... Okay, so I've been able to watch a lot of movies that are newer lately, and I like to promote indie movies, but I've already talked about Night of Something Strange quite a bit lately. But I always go back to The Void and how much I really enjoyed that movie. Did you ever see that one, Wayne? The Void?
What's it called? The Void?
The Void.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
It's good. It's on. I think it's on Netflix also.
Okay, let me write that down. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, it's there's something about it. It goes back to Clive Barker and a Stephen King type feel.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter. Yeah, you take all these great horror directors and throw them into a pot, and The Void comes out of it. And I love that movie. I can't believe how much I love it.
Yeah.
And then there's a great documentary on the Blu-ray about how the two guys who made the movie and how they came up with the idea and showed some of the effects. And the Blu-ray is great to own. I will say that. So, yeah. I'm going to go with The Void, Jared. Come on. Yeah. I think that may be one of the best horror movies made in the last 5 years, probably, maybe even longer.
Yeah, I agree. My answer is also The Void. Dun, dun, dun.
Gotcha, bitch.
There we go.
I like how the ending paid a nice homage to The Beyond. That's basically what it was.
Very much, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It had so much. You can tell these guys had to be influenced by all these great directors. Maybe even with some of the visuals, especially when they're going, because like that hallway to hell or whatever, with all the, with the lighting. Mm-hmm. It reminded me. It could be almost like an Argento type feel to it. There's so many influences in that movie, and it wasn't made for very much money either. Yeah, it's a good movie. All right, do we want another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
I guess since I asked that, I should ask the question.
Not a lot of interactivity on Facebook land.
Yeah.
But I understand.
One person asked what Wayne's in. It's Night of Something Strange. He's in the upcoming Johnny Z. There's two other movies. There's one. Don't you play Dracula?
I played Dracula in a movie called Tales of Dracula.
Nice.
That was released in 2014 or 2015. 2015, I think it was. And that was a lot of fun. It's basically a throwback to the old Universal style. So it's black and white. The whole where the Dracula, it's not any of the romance or anything like that. He's a monster, and Frank, he's cold and human.
He doesn't sparkle.
But this time he doesn't sparkle. But this time he has longer hair, and because he's more based off Vlad. Okay. Although it's kind of interesting having said that, I've said that before in different interviews, and it's like, well, Vlad also had a mustache, but I didn't have one, so
true.
Maybe that was a good thing. It's an ode to the 1940s Universal with some hammer thrown in, I guess, and the werewolf makes an appearance, and Frankenstein's monsters there as well, and it was a great project to be on. I had a lot of fun with it. That was another one where sometimes the contacts gave me problems. There was two women. The woman who played Alona, that's Greta Volkova, and Elsa, that was Cassandra Hayes. We were filming outside in a forest area, and what was being lit was how it was being lit. Where there was two cars, and they just put their lights on, and that was our lighting. And I had to wear these special effect contacts and they're not prescriptions. So I'm in the dark, blind as a bat, and basically these two ladies they had to hold my arms each and basically walk me out of the forest because the lights went off and I couldn't see. It was pitch black. I could not see a thing. So here I am dressed up as, I'm Dracula, king of vampires, and I'm totally helpless in a black forest. It's like if they had just ran, I'd still probably be in that forest right now going, "Hello, help me."
That's funny.
Is there anywhere to find that movie streaming, or is that one we're going to
well, it's not streaming, but if you can get it on DVD from oldies.com or Alpha Home Entertainment, it's only like $6.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon too.
Okay, and it's called Tales of Dracula.
Tales of Dracula, yeah. And it's weird because the back, it shows pictures of it, and they're in color, but inside it's all black and white, and there's some CGI in there, not much, but it's kind of cheesy, but it was cool. I mean, it kind of fits the vibe, how things were back then, and yeah, had a great time with it.
All right, we do have a question from Ron Buchanan. Who is your Scream Queen crush? If you have one.
Well,
not Scream.
I would probably say the one that I know the best, which is on. Are you talking more indie, or are you talking more like
overall? I'd say. Yeah,
I would say. Well, let's. I'll do a 3-way tie, a 4-way tie. Okay. Well, first I would say Nicola Fiore, who was also in Night of Something Strange. She's the one that was in that first movie. And played Pam and stuff, and she's known for that. Brinke Stevens, she was also in Nos. She's a little bit well known. Debbie Rochon, and there's one more, and I'm going to look it up here because I always say her name wrong. I want to make sure I say it right because I don't want to, get it wrong. So. Well, I'm going to say it wrong. Giovanna Rosie, something like that.
Rossi.
Giovanni Rossi.
Genevieve Rossi. Yeah. I would say between those four. I know that's not favorite is like it's just one, Wayne. It's not four, but I guess I. But from what I've seen, again, I'm still playing catch up with horror films and stuff like that. But those are the ones that I like the most.
It works. I was gonna say Lisa Wilcox and Danielle Harris, but that's just me.
That's cool.
What about you guys, Brian, Jared?
I'll go old school. Old school. No, I'm kidding. Definitely Christina Ricci and Winona Ryder, if that makes any sense. Are they really Scream Queens? I don't. But they were my favorite when I was growing up.
They were your favorite?
Yeah.
They were your crushes.
They were, and Thora Birch was for a while too.
Yeah. Her portrayal in Ghost World. That's what did it for you.
And
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but I saw American Beauty. When she got topless, and that was exciting because I was just like, oh my god.
Anytime you see a woman topless, it's like, oh my god.
It was like, because it was Thora Birch. It was like, I'm used to seeing this girl from like movies like Clear and Present Danger and Hocus Pocus, and now here she is, just like flashing the boobies in American Beauty.
Hocus Pocus when she's 12, and
yeah, you don't want to see her
boobies.
You don't want to see her doing that when she's 12, but when she was 18, she flashed her boobies. So I was just like, this part of my life is complete. Thank you.
That's a booby movie.
And then Christina Ricci and Black Snake Moan. I was just like, that part of my life is complete. Thank you.
All right, I found Tales of Dracula on Amazon for $6.98.
I did
There
too.
you go. I was close.
I'm gonna buy it.
Well, thank you. I'm sure the producer director Joe DeMuro will thank you as well. I hope you enjoy it.
I hope so too.
And if you don't, blame Joe. No, I'm just joking.
We have Ron Buchanan saying Alexandra Daddario is his favorite. And his wife says Danielle Harris is hers.
Yeah. I get to meet Lisa Wilcox next week, so I met Danielle Harris last year, so I'm knocking them down. Met Heather Langenkamp, and then actually met Wayne at Days of the Dead last year.
Yes, but I'm not a scream queen. Not that I know of yet.
He's Bruce Lee and Schwarzenegger's love child. We've already established that.
I mean, Conan Jr.
There you go. That's your next role. You've tackled Dracula, now tackle Conan's son.
Well, I've already done one role in a loincloth, so
God, what was that?
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that. No, it was a very brief cameo. If you missed it, good. It was in She Kills.
She Kills.
Yeah, from Ron, SRS Cinema LLC, which is like if you haven't seen that, see, originally when Ron and Jonathan were putting together these two movies, they were going to be twinned grindhouse movies, and then they kind of went off their separate ways. Where there's a lot of if you've already seen Night of Something Strange, you'll feel kind of at home with She Kills, but She Kills has more of a 70s exploitation type grindhouse flavor to it, whereas Nos is more of an 80s inspired kind of feel to it. So you're going to see stuff that's pretty goofy. They, like back then, with those grindhouse films, if they made a mistake, they didn't have enough money to film more, so they left the mistake in, and you'll see that. You'll see, and there's like scenes where there's like a martial art fight, and like one guy grabs a cat or a dog and he pulls it apart and it becomes nunchucks. It's just crazy, silly stuff like that. And it's kind of similar because the woman who's involved, her name is Sadie. Actually, I just posted a picture. I just did a little extra work with on a film. Yeah, with her name is Jenny Russo, and we both have action figures. Like I have one of Cornelius, she has one of Sadie, and we happen to have them together. Right? Yeah. So. Yeah. And Sadie's character, though, her vagina is possessed by Satan. So,
nice.
And I'm buying that movie right now too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely buy that one because you're going to see. There's actually a number of people that are from Night of Something Strange in that film as well, like Trey Harrison's in there, Michael Merchant.
Evil labia too.
Yeah, and you're going to see Michael Merchant. He has if you're a guy, he has a pretty painful death. As a guy, yeah, it's what they do to his. Wang is
yeah.
You'll see. It's a good laugh fest too. They're good. They're a good double. If you watch them both, like you watch She Kills first, then you watch Night of Something Strange, because originally there was some tie-ins, and there's still some of them in there, but for the most part they're their own beasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She
You'll see a lot of
is going for $9.99 on DVD on Amazon.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray is going for $31.
I'm sticking with DVD. I'm going to go with the Wayne Johnson triple feature here. I've got in my cart. I've got She Kills, Tales of Dracula, and House Shark.
There you go.
Shark.
Making a purchase.
Now, just to let you know, though, if it's not really a triple in a sense for me, because She Kills, if you blink, you'll miss me. Because and maybe that's better because it's one of those roles
you're in a loincloth.
Let's put it this way: if everything goes according to plan, and let's say I'm on like a show like remember the old Tonight Show where they had let's say it's Arnold, okay, and he would be in there and he's there to pump his promo his new movie, okay, so he'd be sitting there talking. Let's say it's Predator. I don't know, you could find it on there. I don't know what movie he was pushing, but let's say it's Predator, okay, he's up there and he's doing this and stuff, and it was Johnny or Jay. They were going like, oh, yeah, but do you remember this movie? And they started showing clips of Arnold, Hercules, Comes to New York or
yeah.
something like that. You know, where it was so bad they couldn't even use Schwarzenegger. They had to change his last name to Strong. And the acting was just more with Arnold. All it was finding ways to get his shirt off so he could flex for more than most. If you haven't seen that movie, just get it for free. You know, if you can, but just watch it and just like you'll be shaking your head going, oh my, because it's 1970. Okay. Yeah. And but they would do that. But if I was in that situation, it would be the scene from She Kills. You know, I mean, I did it. You know, it's a great movie. I'll say what part it is, but like I said, if you blink, because a lot of times people have watched it and I brought up my part and they go, I don't remember seeing you in it. There's a part where Sadie, she doesn't know what's going on with her vagina, so she goes to a voodoo doctor.
Okay. What's the perfect place to go to? I mean, why go to an OBGYN when you can go to a voodoo doctor?
Yeah. So she does her whole thing, her voodoo thing and stuff like that, and all of a sudden she's out in outer space and these things happen. And one of the things that happens in outer space for a very brief moment is a guy who looks a lot like me, wearing only a loincloth and a smile, doing a war dance for a brief moment, and then it's gone. And I'm just like, oh boy, that's, you know, yeah.
Well, off topic a little bit. What is? Can you tell us about two other movies? I'm looking at your IMDb right now. Mm-hmm. One is Empire State of the Dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and then Mohawk.
Okay, Empire State of the Dead started out as a zombie short film contest by Ron Bonk. He's the guy from She Kills, SRS Cinema LLC, and basically it was for film directors in the CNY area, Central New York. For those who don't know. To put together a 10 to 12 minute zombie short film and put it in, and the best would be put into a film called Empire State of the Dead. And these were the ones who basically made it, and then Ron filmed the wraparound story around that to try to connect everything together, which was a pretty hard job to do. When you watch all these things, it's pretty hard to connect some of them, because there's some great acting in there from the various clips and everything. And you'll see again a lot of people from Night of Something Strange. They're in there too. Michael Merchant's in there. Ginny Russo's in there. I'm in there, obviously. There's a clip that I did it was originally called Blessed Are the Meek, and it got renamed to Chapter 5, Prey of the Living Dead. So it's the 5th film in there. And I play a villain called Draven. He's kind of like a Joker-like character. And it was actually my idea for the gang that I'm in. It's just only 3 of us, but we all wear skull makeup.
Okay.
And I was kind of given some freedom in my lines and the story and stuff. I got to change. I actually got to improv at times. And it was so much fun because I was changing voices, personalities, you know, trying to be like the Joker. Because, I mean, I loved, especially Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight. So that was my inspiration for that. I'm not saying that I hit that mark, but I did my best. And that was a lot of fun. And had a great time with that. It's one of my favorite roles, actually, in there. And I actually got to live. You know, most of these films I get killed off.
Yeah.
Having said that, we get to Mohawk. Mohawk was a film that, ironically, I got into by accident. They had a premiere, like a triple bill premiere in Syracuse at a place called the Palace Theater. And Empire State of the Dead, She Kills, and Night of Something Strange was playing. And at that point, I had never seen Night of Something Strange. So that was the main reason I was there. I'd kind of already seen Empire State of the Dead because they premiered it at Scaricon the year before. And She Kills I had already seen that as well. But Nos, I didn't. And it was just weird seeing myself, 5 years, in the past. And I'm like, I did that. I ate that tampon like that. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Stuff like that. And so I got done watching all that, and I was walking my way out, and this guy, stopped me and he said, "Hey, this is great. It's awesome stuff. You did great and all." He didn't really see me in She Kills, obviously, because it was just so quick, but he really liked what I did in Empire and what I did in Nos. And he basically said, do you know about this movie called Mohawk that's filming? They're looking around for Native Americans. And I said, well, just to let you know, I'm not Native American, but I play one on TV. But it's but it's, I always say that too, because I've played a lot of Native roles. I shouldn't say a lot, maybe 3 or 4, but and I'm always upfront about that, because I do look Native, and that's part of acting, though, and because some people get offended by that whole thing. I've actually got into an argument with a woman one time where she was saying I was taking jobs away from Native actors and all this stuff, and I made the mistake of engaging in that, and I'll never make that mistake again, just because it's just so stressful and stuff, because that person, no matter what I said, that wasn't going to change your mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went there and I contacted the people, and was there for a couple of days and had a great time. It was a higher level set. I got to share a trailer, which was nice. Got to hang around with some of the crew and the cast and everything like that, and had a good time. And then I got sick right after I got out of there, because we're in the forest and it's cold, and I'm thinking to myself, there's a PA next, a personal assistant nearby with a blanket, going, do you want a blanket? No, and I'm thinking in my head, I was Cornelius, man. I mean, I was filming in 20-degree weather down there, and when the windshields were freezing and stuff, and all I'm wearing is, those coveralls and stuff, and I got through all that stuff. Yeah, that's great. And it's like, yeah, that was 5 years ago, Wayne, because I was just in Mohawk. I'm wearing this shirt, and it was long towards my knees, so it was almost like a dress, and my boxer briefs. That was basically what I was wearing. And so the second day I got there, I said, yeah, give me a blanket. I didn't refuse it that day, because I was out there for like 4 hours, and it's like, it's kind of cold out here. But no, I'm Cornelius. I can take it. No, I couldn't.
Yeah, I'd be the same way.
Well, Cornelius, when you're in Cornelius mode, another thing is you got the adrenaline pumping. I was just a stoic Native American warrior, kind of an extra. I didn't have any lines in Mohawk, and I was there. You could definitely see me. I mean, I'm the only guy like that in the scene that I was in. And I did start out the fight scene. No spoilers, or if there's spoilers here, I get to kill the first person in the scene and stuff like that. So, and but I'm very stoic and stuff. So it's kind of hard to get your adrenaline going when you're just kind of standing there emotional, with no emotion. You're just kind of, Whereas Cornelius, it's like just release my chain, and boom, there I go. All
right, so we're getting closer to the end of the episode. We'll do one more Razor's Burn question, and of course we'll have it answered, and then we'll end the night with promoting you and where we can find you and such. So I guess here it is, the last question on the night. Jared went, Ray went with the question. Now I guess I'll go with the question.
You're toying.
Is it tampon? Does it involve tampons?
It could. If you wanted to involve tampons, it absolutely could. If you could star in one, we'll see, because we talked about action today. If you could star in one movie franchise, reboot or rewrite the original, what franchise would you choose to star in?
It's a good question. Good question. There's so many. I would probably say something to do with Marvel.
Okay.
I would like to be in something like that. Only because, see, it's weird because I have to kind of explain this a little bit, because there was another podcast that I was on. They were asking me about the sequel to The Crow. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they asked what my take was on that, and I thought about it after I gave my answer. My answer was more like along the lines of, you shouldn't really mess with the original. Mm-hmm. And something like The Crow, especially. I mean, Brandon Lee's performance. I mean, that's a huge shadow to overcome.
Yeah,
and totally.
But having said that, so on the one hand, yeah, I don't feel they should, this trend that Hollywood has about remaking classic films and stuff like that. More often than not, they bomb, and for good reason. Usually they change things that are like fan favorites and stuff, and it just bombs for the most part. Although there's people that like them. It's all subjective, of course. But I've also to me, I kind of thought about it, and I was like, what I should have said too, and this kind of applies here. It's like if you come up with a really good story, it makes sense that, you know, and you don't totally wipe out all the stuff from before. There's a continuity, there's great acting, great story, and stuff like that. And, you know, I'd be willing to take a shot at something like that. I mean, even like The Crow. I mean, if I'm not too old already to do something like that, and if, you know, if I have some martial arts skills, but I don't know if I have that level. But you know, so, but you know, when I say Marvel, it would be nice to be in something, not necessarily a reboot. That's so hard to do on there because, you know, especially comic book movies. If you replace somebody, that's like a big uproar. Yeah. You know, they want those. They got the actors there, especially like one of the main ones. It's like, you know,
everybody freaks the fuck out.
Yeah. And obviously this would have to go unless it was a character with long hair. Although there was one character with Marvel I thought that I could fit in that, you know, I mean, besides some of the Native American ones, but then again, I'm not Native American, but whether that counts or not. But there was one, but I heard an announcement that they're actually making a movie for it already. And I thought that would have been nice with my background. Maybe I could have, you know, somehow, if I had the right connections and everything. It was for those who may not know, for Marvel, it's a vampire character. It's Morbius.
Morbius, yes, the living man.
Because his hair's a little long. Mine's currently too long, obviously. But if I got in Marvel shape, and you know, I thought that I could be in for the running possibly for that. You know, if I had the right connections and everything like that. But which I don't at the moment. But as I said, for the moment. But it's already being done, you know. So it's like, damn, that would have been nice, though. You know, that would have been something that. But anything, you know, I mean, it's, you know, it would be fun to just be involved, to have a part like there and just build your way up. And it, you know, DC too, I guess, even though DC obviously, you know, they've got a little bit of a problem at times with some of their stuff, but it seems like they're working on improving all that stuff, and I'm going just way too long on all this. So go on. I'll just shut up. And
have you ever worn the Crow makeup before? I did in high school once, just for shits and grins. Have you ever put it on before? Curious to see what you look like with the Crow makeup on. Yeah.
No, but I put Paul Stanley makeup on, Star Child makeup. And I there's a picture that I put up every once in a while, and people are saying, "Damn, you look just like him." I was a big Paul Stanley fan. I'm a huge Kiss fan. And I've actually done some shows with Caroline Blue where we did like a set where it was just all Kiss tunes done in Kiss makeup, and I would actually wear an outfit. I have the boots and all that stuff and everything like that. And always got a great response when we were doing all that stuff. But I've never actually had just the Crow. That's an idea. Maybe if I
should do it. I'd like to see
it. Yeah. That would be actually a lot of fun. Actually, of course, these days you could probably do it digitally too. Get a picture of me with my hair like up to here, I guess, like where the Crow was, where Brandon Lee's was. And there's another character too. Oh, I can't remember his name. There's another character. There's a couple of people that have told me that I would do great in, and it's a character. It's an independent character, comic book character. He's kind of like it's almost like it's like a bio cyborg type of character. He's got longer hair. I'm sorry, I can't remember what his name is right now. I'd have to look him up. But people have said I would be a dead ringer for that. And I can't remember what the character is. I mean, if you want, you guys, if I can turn around in my back, put my back to the audience, I can try to look it up real quick. But I'll do that while you guys are doing there now. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay. Ray, what franchise would you like to star in?
Action?
Anything.
Or anything. Oh, I mean, I've always wanted to be Batman. Of course. Truthfully, I'd rather write a Batman movie. Because, you know, I like writing comics and reading Batman for so long. I think I know the character so well that I don't look like him, though. I'd rather it be behind the scenes. I don't know if I have the chops to act. I wouldn't mind trying. If there's an action movie starring with character Anton LaVey, that's all for me. I'll say that. No, a Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to be in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. That'd be cool. Those are my favorites, but I'm too old. I'm not a teenager anymore.
You could be like one of the dads.
Ugh, thanks.
I mean, I'm getting up there too. I'd be like one of the like annoying uncles or something in one of those movies.
Anything. I would be in anything. If anybody offered me a part, DC movies, Marvel movies, whatever. Somebody, wanted me to play Dracula, I would try to do that. Whatever. I would do just about anything. Star Wars. There you go. Star Wars is what I would want to be in. I love Star Wars. There's your easy answer. Even though it's like pulling teeth. What about you, Jared?
I have no fucking clue. I mean, I don't really have literally any acting experience whatsoever, so I'd probably be more on the behind the scenes of anything if I ever worked on something like that. Or I could be the guy that just gets a machete to the face in a horror movie, which would be great.
Hey,
I'm thinking more of a cleaver to the face for you.
That works. It kind of frames the face better.
Yeah.
Or we could just, play Friday the 13th, a video game, and just watch Jared die in the first 5 minutes of every round.
Every fucking round.
Well, hey, you can definitely do it. I mean, look what I'm doing. Eating tampons. So. Can you eat a tampon?
It reminds me of the time when I was 13. I went to my friend's house. And his mom threw a fucking bloody tampon at me, and it hit the wall behind me and stuck there. And she says, "What? Tell me Kool-Aid." I'm like, "Yeah, that looks like Kool-Aid."
Yeah, right.
See, if you can eat a tampon, you can be a nos too.
Yeah,
I'm in.
But it's gonna be lumpy. Okay, just leave it at that. By the way, Ray, when you were talking about all that Batman experience and stuff like that, let me know what you think about Empire. Like I said, it's like a Joker influence kind of thing. Let me know if I did well or not. I mean, I'm always.
I will write a review for it after because I'll get it. It says I'll get it by Monday, so I'll try to watch it whenever I get it. I love the cover. Jared, just so you know, there's only like 2 or 3 left. They said on Amazon. So, the Empire State of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one and Chic Hills are both only a couple left. So I bought both of those, and then I didn't buy House Shark because they have it at Walmart. I'll just go get it tomorrow. So
they have it at Walmart.
Yeah, I saw they had a couple copies at my Walmart yesterday when I was there.
They do, but they're selling out. There's a lot of places that are like.
I need to go probably after this. No, it's on Amazon. If I can't get it at Walmart, I'll get it eventually. I really wanted to get Chic Hills stuff for the I'm going to screen cap the loincloth scene. And
I could send you a picture. Yeah, it's maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it, but no, it's okay. It's okay. It's one of those things. I mean, it happened. I've done a few films that are like that. That happens to every actor. Every actor gets a scene like that, and sometimes it it is what it is.
Yeah, Brian's trying to be in this movie where he's going to show his dong for 3 hours.
That's
so
right.
God bless you. God bless you.
It's called Sex in the City 3. Let the horses run free.
And we're looking for Native American characters so you can steal more.
In 3D, right?
In 3D.
Oh my god!
Actually, it's in 4D.
Can you imagine if Night of Something Strange was in 3D in that scene with the penis?
Can you imagine
and the vagina? All that was in 3D. Oh my god!
With a smellogram, like the ones he got from polyester, the fucking John Waters movie, and you had to scratch and snip the stickers. And, each scene, a number would come up, and you scratch that number, and it was always cat shit. All right.
Jonathan's writing this stuff down now, right?
Yeah. Okay. Jonathan's writing this down.
He's already taken you off the episode twice, so
we need to get him on the show and just spitball ideas for him to make it worse for the next time. Because a buddy of mine, one of my comic book artist friend, I was like, hey man, you got to see this movie. Right after I met you guys at Days of the Dead, because I watched it immediately after that. Because here's the selling point. I was like, yeah, my kids love horror, and all 3 of them, It was Jonathan, Wayne, and Trey. No. Your kids can't watch this. I'm like, oh, they'll be fine. I'm like, they're like, no, trust us. And I watch it like, yeah, my kids can't watch this till they're 18. No fucking way.
That happens so much. I mean, I always tell people, I'll be like, I'll joke around and say, don't judge me, because, and they'll be like, oh, I can't be that bad. I go, yeah, I can. It's just
from the
opening.
I'm
going to warn you. Yeah. Just from the opening scene.
Yeah, the opening scene, like when I put that in, because I watched it the day after I got back from Days, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, we'll see how bad this is. I put it in, and there you are with a mop. You walk into that room, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what is he going to do? And you did it. It sounds like son of a...
Well, that was a tough job, but somebody had to do that. And, that was I take one for the team there. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad either.
Yeah, that's part of the glamour of acting.
Alrighty, so...
That was actually my first time ever meeting her, too. That was Ginny Russo. That was my first time ever meeting her. I mean, what a great way to... what a great tagline. Oh, yeah, how did you guys meet? And it's like, yeah, I was dry humping her on top of a... she was naked, and I was dry humping her on top of a operating table.
All right.
It's like a Tinder date.
So this has been another episode here on THS Lives. We're going to wrap this up. My name is Bryan Enright. You can follow me on Facebook at Bryan Enright, or you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Horror Jew. Jared, where can we find you?
You guys can follow me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau, or if you're on Twitter, you can follow me at zombie_survivor. Thanks, Wayne, for being on the show with us tonight. Fun talking with you, man.
Yeah, it was great talking with all of you guys. Very cool.
All right. Up next, we have our president and Führer, Razor. Ray, where can we find you?
You can find me behind the McDonald's in the dumpster, since Mike's not on right now. I'll take his. No, you can find me at Razor_33 on Twitter. I'll give it up this time. And then I was going to look at my Instagram. It's just Razor33. If you want to follow me on Instagram, follow the Horror Syndicate at Horror Syndicate on Instagram too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, somebody else took it over, so I don't have to deal with it, and she's kicking ass with it, Ginny.
Nice.
That's it. You can follow me on Facebook if you want. Yeah, Wayne, it was awesome having you. Are you doing any cons coming up at all?
Not presently. Next year, I'm sure there's going to be like Johnny Z. The Johnny Z teaser is actually going to premiere at Genre Blast.
Oh, Mike's movie's going to be there next week.
Yeah,
is that Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, I think so. And because I just got an update, like everybody else, on Indiegogo from Jonathan about that.
Yeah.
So the teaser's going to be out there, and it'll probably be online soon after that. And Nathan Ludwig, who's the guy who's the organizer with that and stuff like that, he actually filmed a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of interviews and stuff, and some interesting stuff. No tampons, but it's but I would say, well, it depends. I mean, I know House Shark's going to be hitting the convention circuit pretty soon, if it's not already. Johnny Z is going to be hitting it next year. I guess if it just matters if I'm invited, and if I am, if I can make it, great. I would love to do it.
Awesome.
He's very good with meeting the fans and interacting with people at the con. There's pictures on my Facebook of us together at Days of the Dead from last year.
Yeah. I love meeting the people the fans of the movies, and I'm just so appreciative that there's people that just appreciate and love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blast. I mean, I guess it's amazing to me. I'm one of those people that, when I watch myself on screen, whether it's TV, movie, or something like that, I have this weird detachment.
Yeah.
Like I'm not watching myself. It's like it's somebody else. It's Dwayne Johnson. No, but it's which we never even got into that SAG thing that we were going to talk about. It just reminded about that whole thing. But it's well, I just lost my train of thought because I went off topic there.
You're
just lost my train of topic.
You were talking about disconnecting.
Oh, I was disconnecting and stuff like that. So in some ways, it's like for me, it's like for anybody who likes what I do, any of the projects I'm in or anything like that, it's a real honor, you know. And it's kind of it's just I'm not, and I hope I never will be one of those guys that gets really full of himself, like, oh yeah. You like that movie? Of course you did. Yeah. You know, like one of those type of guys or something like that. I'm very deeply appreciative of anyone, you know, and I will always, you know, do my best to show that appreciation within limits. Okay, I'm not going to come into your home in a loincloth and a smile and do a war dance in your living room. Okay,
I gotta go.
That's not happening.
I'm done with this.
All right. Well, where can we find you? Those who are viewing the show, where can we find you on social media?
Okay, well, there's my personal site at waynewjohnson.com. It's a rather large site. A lot of back history on there. A lot of stuff. Hopefully you're entertained on that. On Facebook, it's my acting page is WWJ Official. I do have my personal page too at Wayne W. Johnson. Instagram, it's Wayne W. Johnson. Twitter, it's WWJ13. YouTube, it is WWJ Official. If you happen to be on MySpace, it's Wayne W. Johnson. I am on IMDb, you know, Stage 32, LinkedIn, good number of sites. But the main ones I concentrate on are Facebook for more general stuff, general news and everything like that. Twitter, I'm a little more, it's getting more private about stuff. Instagram, I put photos up there that I don't share anywhere else. I try to make things a little different. And YouTube, I'm lagging behind right now, but there's already a lot on there, and I'm going to be adding a lot more as I am allowed to, because some of the clips I want to put up there, I can't for various reasons. But I'm working on that.
All right. And what's the name of your band again?
Caroline Blue. That's also on Facebook as Caroline Blue Official. It's on Twitter as Caroline_Blue, all in caps. It's on Instagram as Caroline Blue Official. YouTube is also Caroline Blue Official. It's all there. I mean, if you go on my pages, especially like Instagram, there'll be Caroline Blue stuff on there, and there's a tag there. It takes you right there. You know, and hopefully by the end of this year, if not definitely next year, I will have the CarolineBlue.com site up. You know, it's if you see my site, WayneWJohnson.com, and see the size of that, the Caroline Blue site is almost 3 times that size. Because we did a lot of shows, I did a lot of interviews. I mean, I got interviews in Belgium and all this stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff on there. You know, all sorts of stuff. So, and because I'm starting to release more new music now with Caroline Blue, we're going to start working on more music videos and stuff. So I got to get that site up and running. So.
All right, well, very cool. And so thank you for all those who are watching out on Facebook land. Have a great, safe night, and we'll see you next Friday.